The veins of the brain have no muscular tissue in their very thin walls, and they possess no valves. They emerge from the brain and lie in the subarachnoid space. Then they pierce the meningeal layer of the dura and drain into the cranial venous sinuses. As well as the veins of the body, the cerebral veins are usually described into two groups, the superficial and deep. The superficial cerebral veins can be seen on the surface of the brain. These vessels are the superior cerebral veins that pass upward over the lateral surface of the cerebral hemisphere and empty into the superior sagittal sinus, and the superficial middle cerebral vein, which drains the lateral surface of the cerebral hemisphere. It runs inferiorly in the lateral sulcus and empties into the cavernous sinus. Two large superficial anastomotic veins are included into the superficial venous system of the brain. They are the superior anastomotic vein, known as the vein of Trolard, the larger one. It crosses the cortical surface of the frontal and parietal lobes and connects the superficial middle cerebral vein with the superior sagittal sinus. And the second one is the inferior anastomotic vein, known also as the vein of Labbe. It crosses the temporal lobe between the sylvian fissure and the transverse sinus and connects the superficial middle cerebral vein with the transverse sinus. The deep middle cerebral vein drains the insula and is joined by the anterior cerebral and striate veins to form the basal vein. The basal vein ultimately joins the great cerebral vein, which in turn drains into the straight sinus. The two internal cerebral veins are hidden inside the brain. They are formed by the union of the thalamus striate vein and the choroid vein at the interventricular foramen. The two veins run posteriorly in the telechoroidea of the third ventricle and unite beneath the splenium of corpus callosum to form the great cerebral vein, which empties into the straight sinus. The major collector of the venous blood is the transverse sinus, which receives tributaries from the superior sagittal sinus, inferior sagittal sinus, straight sinus, at the place called confluence of sinuses. Then it contributes to the sigmoid sinus, which leaves the cranial cavity by passing through the jugular foramen and continues with the internal jugular vein.